The alarm bells rang across the space station like angry hornets. Admiral Jake Morrison ran down the metal hallway, his boots making loud sounds on the floor. His heart was beating fast. After 300 years of exploring space, humans had finally found what they were looking for. But maybe they were not ready for what found them. "Admiral, you need to see this," said Captain Amy Rodriguez. She was standing in front of the big screen in the control room. Her face was white with fear. On the screen, Jake could see ships, but these were not human ships. The alien ships looked like they were made of glass and light. They moved through space without making any sound. There were 12 of them, each one bigger than the largest human battleship. They came closer to the human space station like silent ghosts. "How long have they been there?" Jake asked. "They appeared 10 minutes ago. Our sensors could not see them coming. They just showed up," Amy said. Her voice was shaking. Jake looked at the ships again. They were beautiful but scary at the same time. The humans had been waiting for this day for so long. First contact with alien life. But now that it was happening, Jake felt very afraid. "Get me Ambassador Lisa Carter. We need to try talking to them," Jake said. Lisa Carter was the best diplomat that Earth had. She was smart and brave. When she heard about the alien ships, she came to the control room quickly. Her black hair was pulled back and her eyes were serious. "What do we know about them?" she asked. "Nothing. They just appeared. Our weapons are ready, but we do not know if they will work against alien technology," said Commander Rick Hayes. He was the head of security on the station. Lisa nodded. "I will try to talk to them. Maybe they are peaceful." The humans sent a message to the alien ships. It was a simple message with pictures and numbers. It showed that humans were intelligent and wanted to be friends. They waited for an answer. After 1 hour, the alien ship sent back a message. But it was not like any human language. It sounded like music mixed with strange noises. The computers tried to understand it, but they could not. Then something amazing happened. One of the alien ships began to change. It became transparent like glass. A beam of light came from the ship and touched the space station. Suddenly, the humans could understand the alien language. "We are the Zephyrian Empire. We speak for the High Council. You are new to us. We want to know about your kind." Lisa felt excited. This was really happening. Humans were talking to aliens for the first time. She spoke into the microphone. "We are humans from the planet Earth. We come in peace. We want to be friends with your people." There was a long silence. Then the alien voice came back. "We have watched your kind. You are young and aggressive. You fight among yourselves. You destroy your own planet. Why should we trust you?" Lisa felt hurt by these words, but she knew some of them were true. Humans did fight wars. They did damage their planet. But they were also good people who could learn and grow. "Yes, we have made mistakes, but we are trying to be better. We want to learn from other civilizations. We want to explore space and make friends." The alien voice was quiet for a long time. The humans waited and worried. Finally, the alien spoke again. "We will send one of our ships to meet with you. Prepare a place for our representative." Jake felt happy but also nervous. This was the biggest moment in human history. Everything had to go perfectly. The alien ship that came forward was smaller than the others, but it was still very big. It moved close to the human space station and stopped. A door opened in the side of the ship, but no alien came out. Instead, a ball of light floated from the ship to the station. The ball of light went through the metal walls of the station like they were not there. The humans watched in amazement. Their technology could not do anything like this. Inside the meeting room, the ball of light began to change. It became solid and took the shape of a tall, thin creature. The alien had blue skin that seemed to glow. Its eyes were large and silver. It wore clothes that looked like they were made of starlight. "I am High Commander Vexithara. I speak for the Zephyrian Empire," the alien said. Its voice was like music, but there was something cold about it. Lisa stepped forward. She tried to smile, but her hands were shaking. "Welcome to our station. I am Lisa Carter. I represent all of humanity." Vexathara looked at her for a long time. Then it looked around the room at all the human technology. Your machines are very primitive. Your weapons are crude. Your civilization is young and dangerous. Rick Hayes did not like these words. He stepped forward with anger on his face. We may be young, but we are not dangerous to you. We just want to talk. Vexathara turned its silver eyes to Rick. You have weapons pointed at our ships. You have soldiers ready to fight. This is not the way of peace. Those are just normal security measures, Jake said quickly. We always keep our defenses ready. It does not mean we want to fight. But Vexathara was already moving. It raised one hand, and suddenly all the lights in the room began to flicker. The computers started making strange noises. You scan our ships with your primitive sensors. You try to learn our secrets. You prepare for war while speaking of peace, Vexathara said. Its voice was getting louder and more angry. Rick put his hand on his weapon. Stop what you are doing to our systems. That was the wrong thing to say. Vexathara made a sound like breaking glass. Suddenly, every human weapon in the room stopped working. The lights went out. Emergency power came on, making everything look red. You dare to threaten us? Vexathara said. Your entire civilization could be destroyed with a thought. Outside the station, the alien ships began to glow brighter. The human ships that were nearby suddenly could not move. Their engines stopped working. Their weapons would not fire. Jake tried to stay calm. Please, there has been a misunderstanding. We do not want to fight. But it was too late. Vexathara began to fade away like smoke. The Zephyrian Empire has made its decision. You will surrender your colonies and serve us, or you will be destroyed. The alien disappeared, leaving the humans alone in the dark room. Outside, the alien ships were still glowing. Every human ship in the area was dead in space. Amy looked at Jake with fear in her eyes. What do we do now? Jake stared out at the alien ships. Humanity had dreamed of meeting aliens for centuries. Now their dream had become their worst nightmare. 6 months had passed since the aliens arrived. The Zephyrian ships now surrounded 3 human colonies like hungry wolves. People were scared and angry. The aliens had not attacked yet, but they made their message clear. Surrender or die. Colonel Dan Parker sat in his underground lab on Mars. Around him, scientists and engineers worked day and night. They were trying to find a way to fight back against the impossible alien technology, but everything they tried failed. The test results are back, said Dr. Neil Thompson. He was a thin man with tired eyes. Our strongest weapons cannot even scratch their ship hulls. Their shields absorb everything we throw at them. Katie Walsh looked up from her computer. She was the best engineer in the human colonies. I have been studying the alien ship fragments we collected. Their technology is like nothing we have ever seen. It bends the laws of physics. Dan felt frustrated. For 6 months, the smartest humans had been working on this problem, but they were no closer to a solution. The aliens were just too advanced. Sir, we have a message from Admiral Morrison, said a young soldier. He wants to know if we have made any progress. Dan shook his head. What could he tell the Admiral? That humanity was helpless? That their weapons were like stones thrown at a mountain? In another part of the lab, Dr. Helen Brooks was looking at alien technology under a powerful microscope. She had been doing this for weeks, trying to understand how it worked. Suddenly, she saw something interesting. Dan, come look at this, she called out. Dan walked over to her station. On the screen, he could see tiny pieces of the alien technology. They looked like they were alive, moving and changing shape. Watch what happens when I hit it with different types of energy, Helen said. She pressed a button, and a laser beam hit the alien material. The material changed color and absorbed the energy completely. Now watch this, Helen said. She pressed another button. This time, instead of a clean laser beam, she fired a messy burst of different energies all at once. The alien material began to shake and spark. Dan stared at the screen. It could not adapt fast enough. Exactly, Helen said with excitement in her voice. Their technology is perfect. but it needs time to analyze and adapt to new threats. If we hit it with something completely random and chaotic, it gets confused. Neil heard this and came over quickly. That makes sense. Their technology works by understanding patterns and adjusting to them, but chaos has no pattern to understand. Katie smiled for the first time in months. And if there is one thing humans are good at, it is making chaos. Dan felt hope growing in his chest. Maybe they had found something after all. Can we use this to make weapons? I think so, Helen said, but not normal weapons. We need something that creates pure chaos, something that makes no sense. While the scientists worked on this new idea, Commander Steve Miller was training soldiers in a different way. Instead of teaching them to fight like proper soldiers, he was teaching them to fight like wild animals. The aliens expect us to fight in formation, Steve told his troops. They expect us to follow rules and use tactics, so we will do the opposite. We will be unpredictable and crazy. Sergeant Maria Gonzalez raised her hand. Sir, what if we modified our ammunition? Instead of making it more powerful, what if we made it more random? Steve nodded. Good thinking. Work with the engineers. Make bullets that do different things every time they fire. Back in the lab, the team was making progress. They had created a new type of weapon that combined explosives with quantum disruptors. When the weapon fired, it created energy patterns that were completely random. The first prototype is ready, Katie announced. It is not pretty, but it should confuse alien technology. Dan looked at the weapon. It was big and ugly, made from spare parts and human junk. It looked nothing like the beautiful alien technology. But maybe that was the point. Let us test it on a small piece of alien hull, Dan said. They fired the weapon at a fragment of alien armor. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the alien material began to crack and break apart. The humans cheered. Captain Tony Lewis had been working on a different problem. He was trying to listen to alien communications. The aliens talked to each other using quantum signals that were almost impossible to intercept. Grace Kim, his communications officer, had been helping him for weeks. I think I found something, she said. The aliens all share information instantly. They have a network that connects all their minds. Tony understood what this meant. If they all share the same information, then they all have the same weaknesses too. Right. If we can disrupt their network, we can blind their entire fleet. At once, Grace said. The pieces were starting to come together. The humans had 3 new weapons. Chaos-based guns that could damage alien ships, disruption devices that could confuse alien networks, and most importantly, they had something the aliens did not expect: human craziness. Dan called Admiral Morrison with the good news. Sir, we think we have found a way to fight back. It will not be easy and it will not be pretty, but it might work. What do you need? Morrison asked. Time to build more weapons, and soldiers who are willing to try impossible things, Dan said. You have both. How long do you need? Dan looked around at his team. They were tired but excited. For the first time since the aliens arrived, they had hope. Give us 3 months, we will give you an army that can fight gods, Dan said. Morrison was quiet for a moment. The colonies are counting on us. Do not let them down. After the call ended, Dan gathered his team together. We have 3 months to turn crazy ideas into working weapons. 3 months to teach humans how to fight an enemy that should be impossible to beat. Helen looked at the alien technology fragments. They think they are perfect. They think their technology cannot be defeated, Neil smiled. They have never met humans before. Katie cracked her knuckles. Time to show them what human engineering can do. The work began immediately. In labs across human space, scientists and engineers started building weapons that made no sense. Guns that fired different things every time. Bombs that exploded in random patterns. Ships that moved in ways that broke all the rules. The aliens had perfect technology, but humans had something better. They had the ability to be perfectly imperfect, and sometimes that was exactly what was needed to win an impossible war. Captain Alex Turner knew he was going to die. His old cargo ship was flying straight toward the biggest alien ship he had ever seen. The Zephyrian mothership was 10 times larger than any human vessel. Its crystal hull gleamed like a deadly jewel. In space, "Captain, are you sure about this?" asked his engineer, Bobby Chen. The young man's hands were shaking as he prepared the fusion cores for overload. "The egghead said their perfect technology cannot handle chaos," Alex said with a grim smile. "Well, let us give them some chaos." Alex had volunteered for this suicide mission. His cargo ship was filled with unstable fusion cores, mining explosives, and quantum disruptors. It was the most dangerous bomb ever built by humans, and it was completely unpredictable. The alien ship tried to scan Alex's vessel. Their beams of light touched the cargo ship, trying to understand what it was. But the chaotic energy inside confused their sensors. The aliens could not figure out what was coming toward them. 10 seconds to impact, Alex said into his radio. "Tell my wife I love her." The cargo ship smashed into the alien mothership like a hammer hitting glass. The explosion was not clean or precise like alien weapons. It was messy and wild and completely random. The alien ship's perfect shields tried to adapt, but they could not understand what they were defending against. The massive alien vessel began to break apart. Its crystal hull cracked and shattered. For the first time since the war began, humans had destroyed an alien ship. Across human space, people cheered when they heard the news. Finally, they could fight back. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Adams was watching the explosion from his command ship when he got an idea. "If their technology cannot handle industrial equipment, then let us give them some construction vehicles." Frank's plan was crazy, but that was exactly why it might work. He gathered every mining mech, construction robot, and terraforming machine he could find. These machines were never meant for war, but they were big, powerful, and completely chaotic in how they worked. "Listen up," Frank told his strange army of construction workers and miners. "We are going to attack an alien fleet with bulldozers and mining drills. It sounds insane because it is insane, and that is exactly why it will work." Chief Engineer Rosa Martinez had turned her planet-cracking machines into weapons. These huge devices were designed to break apart asteroids for mining. Now she was going to use them to break apart alien ships. The beauty of these machines, Rosa explained to her crew, is that they were never designed to be weapons. The aliens will not know how to defend against them. The attack began at dawn. Frank's construction mechs charged toward the alien blockade like mechanical cavalry. The huge mining drills spun wildly. The terraforming machines fired streams of molten rock. The planet crackers shot beams that could split mountains. The aliens tried to respond with their perfect weapons, but they were confused. Their technology was designed to fight military equipment, not construction tools. When a mining mech grabbed an alien fighter with its giant claw, the alien ship's defenses did not know how to react. "It is working," Frank shouted over the radio. "Keep hitting them with everything we have." The construction vehicles were getting destroyed, but they were taking alien ships with them. Every trade was a victory for the humans because they had more industrial equipment than the aliens had warships. While Frank was winning his chaotic battle, Dr. Helen Brooks was trying something even more dangerous. She had found volunteers willing to let her put alien technology directly into their brains. "The procedure is extremely risky," she warned Commander Jake Foster. "You might die. Or worse, you might lose your mind." Jake looked at the alien device on the table. It looked like a small crystal spider. "If it means we can understand their technology better, then it is worth the risk." The operation took 6 hours. When Jake woke up, his eyes were glowing with a faint blue light. He could feel the alien technology connecting with his thoughts, but his human mind was still in control. "How do you feel?" Dr. Brooks asked. Jake smiled. "I can see their network. I can understand how their ships work. But I am still human. I still think like a human." This was the breakthrough they needed. Jake and the other enhanced humans could use alien technology, but they kept their human creativity and unpredictability. They were the perfect weapon against the Zephyrian Empire. High Commander Vexithera was getting reports from across the battle zone. The humans were fighting in ways that made no sense. They used construction equipment as weapons. They crashed cargo ships into military vessels. They modified their own bodies with stolen technology. "How is this possible?" Vexithara demanded. Our technology is superior in every way. The humans do not fight like civilized beings, reported one of his commanders. They use chaos as a weapon. Our adaptive systems cannot understand their tactics. Vexithara felt something he had never experienced before. Doubt. For 1,000 years, the Zephyrian Empire had conquered worlds with ease. Their perfect technology made them unbeatable. But these humans were different. Send more ships, Vexithara ordered. We will crush them with overwhelming force. But even as he gave the order, Vexithara knew something had changed. The humans were learning. They were adapting. And worst of all, they were not afraid. On Earth, Admiral Morrison was reading battle reports with amazement. They are actually doing it. They are fighting back. The reports showed human victories across multiple systems. Construction mechs destroying alien fighters, cargo ships ramming alien cruisers, enhanced humans using alien technology against its creators. Sir, said his aide, we are getting requests from every colony. They want to join the fight. Miners, farmers, factory workers, everyone wants to help. Morrison nodded. This was what made humans special. When faced with impossible odds, they did not surrender. They got angry, they got creative, and they fought back with everything they had. The war was far from over, but something important had changed. The aliens were no longer winning easily. The humans had learned to fight like humans, using chaos and unpredictability as their greatest weapons. In the depths of space, alien ships began to retreat for the first time in their history. The perfect Zephyrian Empire had met something they could not understand or control. They had met humanity, and humanity was just getting started. 1 year had passed since the first alien ship was destroyed. The war had spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every human colony was now fighting. Every alien fleet was under attack. What started as a small conflict had become the biggest war in galactic history. Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his new flagship, the UTS Defiance. The ship looked nothing like the old human vessels. It was a strange mix of human and alien technology. The hull was made of Earth steel, but it could phase through solid matter using stolen Zephyrian technology. The weapons were human nuclear missiles, but they could appear inside enemy ships without warning. Admiral, we have 15 alien ships approaching the Neptune system, reported his communications officer. They are trying to cut off our supply lines. Jake nodded. Send Captain Ben Wright and his Ghost Fleet. Time to show them what happens when you mix human weapons with alien tricks. Captain Ben Wright was flying one of the new hybrid warships. His vessel looked like a normal human cruiser, but it could do impossible things. When the alien ships appeared on his sensors, Ben smiled. All ships prepare for phase jump, Ben ordered his fleet. We are going to give them a surprise they will never forget. The human ships suddenly became transparent like ghosts. They phased through space and materialized inside the alien formation. Before the aliens could react, the human ships activated their nuclear weapons. The explosions were massive. The alien ships tried to escape, but they were surrounded by radioactive fire. In less than 5 minutes, the entire alien fleet was destroyed. That never gets old, Ben said with satisfaction. Phase in, blow up, phase out. The aliens still cannot figure out how to defend against it. The success was reported back to Admiral Morrison. The new tactics were working perfectly. The humans had learned to combine their destructive nature with alien technology. The result was chaos that even the Zephyrians could not predict. On the GUI planet Kepler, Major Kelly Roberts was leading her enhanced soldiers through alien territory. Kelly and her team had undergone the dangerous procedure to merge human minds with alien technology. They were stronger and faster than normal humans, but they still thought like humans. Corporal Jim Davis, take your squad around the left flank, Kelly ordered through her mental communication system. Specialist Megan Taylor, you are with me. We go straight through the middle. The alien defenders were waiting for them, but the enhanced humans moved in ways that confused the aliens. They used human tactics with alien abilities. They were unpredictable and deadly. Jim's squad attacked from the side using alien phasing technology to walk through walls. But instead of fighting, like aliens, they fought like human soldiers. They used grenades, machine guns, and combat knives. The aliens could not adapt to this combination of advanced technology and primitive weapons. Megan used her enhanced strength to throw alien vehicles at enemy positions. It was a completely human thing to do. No civilized alien would ever think to use a transport as a weapon, but humans were not civilized in the way aliens understood. "The enemy position is taken," Kelly reported. "We have captured their command center and 3 alien commanders." The war was being fought on hundreds of worlds. Everywhere, humans were using the same strategy. Take alien technology and use it in ways the aliens never imagined. The results were devastating for the Zephyrian Empire. High Commander Vexithara was in his command ship, trying to understand how the war had gone so wrong. His perfect technology was being used against him by primitive humans. His advanced weapons were being defeated by chaos and unpredictability. "Report," Vexithara demanded, from his tactical officer. "We have lost 60% of our fleet in the last month," the officer replied. "The humans are using our own technology against us, but they are using it wrong. They break the rules of proper warfare." "What do you mean wrong?" Vexithara asked. "They use phasing technology to deliver nuclear weapons. They use our quantum communications to send viruses. They take our beautiful, precise technology and turn it into crude weapons of mass destruction." Vexithara felt anger building inside him. The humans were ruining everything the Zephyrian Empire stood for. They were taking perfection and turning it into chaos. "Send word to the High Council," Vexithara ordered. "We need more ships. We need the entire Imperial fleet." But even as he gave the order, Vexithara wondered if more ships would be enough. The humans were not just fighting with superior numbers. They were fighting with something the Zephyrians had never encountered before. They were fighting with pure human insanity. Dr. Neil Thompson was working in his laboratory when the breakthrough came. He had been studying the alien quantum network for months, trying to understand how it worked. Finally, he found the answer. "The entire alien empire is connected through one massive network," he explained to Admiral Morrison. "Every ship, every soldier, every commander shares information instantly. It makes them incredibly efficient." "But what happens if we disrupt the network?" Morrison asked. Neil smiled. "If we can introduce chaos into their network, we can blind their entire empire at once. They will lose their greatest advantage." Morrison understood immediately. "How long do you need to build a weapon that can do this?" "Give me 2 weeks and all the quantum disruptors we have captured," Neil said. "I will build you a weapon that can turn their perfection against them." While Neil worked on his network weapon, the war continued to rage. Human forces were winning battles across the galaxy. The aliens were retreating from system after system, but everyone knew the real war was just beginning. The Zephyrian Empire was preparing to send their entire fleet to crush humanity once and for all. They were bringing technology that could destroy planets and weapons, that could break the laws of physics, but the humans were preparing too. They had learned to fight like humans while using alien technology. They had created weapons that made no sense and tactics that broke every rule of civilized warfare. Admiral Morrison looked out at the stars and knew that the final battle was coming. When it arrived, it would decide the fate of both species. The perfect alien empire against the chaotic human rebels. Order against chaos. Perfection against insanity. And for the first time since the war began, Morrison believed that humanity might actually win. The alien fleet was so large it blocked out the stars. 3,000 Zephyrian warships surrounded Earth like angry hornets around their nest. High Commander Vexithara had brought the entire Imperial fleet to end the war once and for all. Admiral Jake Morrison watched the enemy ships from his command center on the moon. He had never seen so many alien vessels in one place. Each ship was beautiful and deadly, filled with technology that could reshape reality itself. "Sir, they are charging. They are planet-killer weapons," reported Captain Amy Rodriguez. "They can destroy Earth in less than 1 hour." Jake nodded grimly. This was the moment he had been preparing for. The plan was insane, even by human standards, but it was their only chance to save humanity. "Send the message to Dr. Helen Brooks. Tell her it is time to begin the solar sequence," Jake ordered. Deep inside the research station near the sun, Dr. Brooks was making final preparations for the most dangerous experiment in human history. She was going to turn Earth's sun into a weapon. "Are you sure this will work?" asked Commander Jake Foster. His enhanced mind could understand both human and alien technology, but even he thought this plan was crazy. "The theory is sound," Helen replied. "If we destabilize the sun's quantum field using both human nuclear technology and alien quantum manipulation, we can create a controlled solar flare. The chaotic energy will disable every alien ship in the system." "And if you are wrong?" Foster asked. Helen looked out at the sun through the station's protective shields. "Then we will destroy our own solar system trying to save it." The plan required perfect timing. Lieutenant Sam Johnson was piloting a specially modified ship toward the sun's corona. His vessel was filled with quantum disruptors and nuclear charges. It was a suicide mission, but Sam had volunteered without hesitation. "Beginning final approach to the corona," Sam reported. "The heat shields are holding, but barely." Captain Julie Anderson was coordinating the quantum disruption sequence from the command ship UTS Defiance. She had to synchronize the solar weapon with the alien fleet's position. One mistake would doom them all. "All stations report ready," Julie announced. "Solar weapon charging in 10 seconds. High Commander Vexithera was preparing to give the order to destroy Earth when his sensors detected something wrong. Energy readings from the human sun were becoming unstable." "What are they doing?" Vexithera demanded. "The humans appear to be destabilizing their own star," his science officer reported with disbelief. "This is madness. They will destroy their entire system." Vexithera stared at the readings. Even after fighting humans for over a year, their capacity for insanity still shocked him. What kind of species would risk destroying their own sun to win a battle? "All ships, prepare for immediate retreat," Vexithera ordered. But it was already too late. The sun erupted like an angry god. But this was not a normal solar flare. The combination of human nuclear technology and alien quantum manipulation created something that had never existed before. Waves of chaotic energy swept across the solar system at the speed of light. When the energy wave hit the alien ships, their perfect technology tried to adapt, but the chaos was too complete, too random. The alien systems overloaded and shut down. 3,000 warships became dead metal floating in space. The human ships, protected by their quantum chaotic shielding, survived the solar storm. For the first time in the war, the entire alien fleet was helpless. Captain Tony Lewis was commanding one of the human dreadnoughts when the solar weapon fired. His ship survived the energy wave and found itself face-to-face with Vexithera's flagship. "This is Captain Lewis to the alien commander," Tony broadcast. "Your fleet is disabled. Surrender now and we will not destroy you." On his flagship, Vexithera looked around at his dead control systems. His perfect ship was floating helplessly in space. His crew was trying to restart their systems, but the chaotic energy had confused everything. For the first time in his long life, Vexithera felt something he had never experienced before. Respect for an enemy. "Human captain," Vexithera replied. "You have defeated the greatest fleet in galactic history using weapons that should not exist. Your species fights like madmen, but you fight with honor." "We fight to protect our families and our freedom," Tony answered. "That is what makes us strong." Vexithera was quiet for a long moment. Then he made a decision that would change galactic history. "I call for a ceasefire," Vexithera announced. "The Zephyrian Empire admits defeat. We wish to negotiate terms of surrender." Across human space, people cheered when they heard the news. The impossible war was over. Humanity had defeated the most advanced alien empire in the galaxy. But Admiral Morrison had a different idea. Instead of accepting surrender, he proposed something that surprised everyone. "Why should we be enemies?" Morrison asked during the peace negotiations. "Your people have incredible technology. Our people have incredible creativity. Together, we could explore the galaxy and help other civilizations." Vexithera considered this proposal. The humans had proven they were not the primitive savages he had first thought. They were chaotic and unpredictable, but they were also brave and innovative. "What do you propose?" Vexthera asked. "An alliance," Morrison replied. "Share your knowledge with us and we will share our creativity with you. Together we can build something better than either of us could create alone." Dr. Brooks was excited by the possibilities. "Imagine what we could accomplish. Alien precision combined with human innovation. We could solve problems that neither of us could handle separately." Commander Foster with his enhanced mind bridging. Both technologies became the first ambassador between the two species. "I can see the potential," he said. "Human chaos can make alien technology more flexible. Alien precision can make human technology more reliable." The peace treaty was signed aboard a joint human-alien space station. Admiral Morrison and High Commander Vexthera shook hands, marking the beginning of a new era. "Your species taught us something important," Vexthera said. "Perfection is not always the answer. Sometimes chaos and creativity are more valuable than order and precision." Morrison smiled. "And your species taught us that our wild ideas can be made real with the right technology. Together, we can explore the universe and help other civilizations find their own path to the stars." The war that began with fear and misunderstanding ended with friendship and cooperation. Humanity had won not just through superior firepower, but through their refusal to give up and their ability to find new solutions to impossible problems. In the years that followed, human-alien hybrid technology would revolutionize space travel. The chaotic creativity of humanity combined with the refined precision of the Zephyrians opened doorways to new worlds and new possibilities. The ultimate showdown between alien technology and human firepower had ended with both sides discovering that they were stronger together than they ever were apart.